from my pastor. Happy birthday, Pastor John, if you're just so happens to be watching this. Welcome to the laundry room once again, you guys. Got some, I want to say great topics to talk about today, but they aren't so great.
Yes, they are. Why do you do this?
They're alarming. They're alarming. In 2019, when you think that some of these things we were supposed to be done with 50, 60 years ago, but we don't want to start there. So, pants I have on today are not the pants I started the day with.
I'm trying to find something.
I came in here quite perturbed, just like I was last week about the Facebook friend request, because I messed up my pants today. Now, this is the story of how that happened. There's a crack in the toilet at my job, and I went to use the bathroom, and that's all the detail I give about that. But the crack in the toilet made like water get all on the floor, and then on the back of my pants, and the whole back of my pants was ruined, and then I had to like smell like urine for like the rest of the day. It was bad. It was bad. So I kind of, I made it feel that was the worst part of the day. If the question is, how did your day go? Yeah, that was the worst part.
I'm sorry, man. That sucks.
Very sincere.
Sucks.
Doesn't look very sincere.
No, it is sincere. That's the best I got.
Okay.
That's the best I got.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
That sucks. That definitely sucks. Oh, man.
Well, we wanted to spend the majority of this episode, the discussion, the same thing. It feels like we discuss every year, and that's like some sort of racial injustice in America. There was like 3 different stories of blatant racial injustice that I heard news lines about, and it's so reminiscent of the things that I thought were in our past that it's really unbelievable. I guess the first story is the one about Justin Smollett.
Jussie Smollett.
Jesse, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Jesse.
Keep saying his
He's
name.
He's the one of the sons on Empire. He's a part of the Smollett family. They're like my family. It's a large family.
Very talented.
Very talented family they're in entertainment, and Jesse's career probably really broke out to most of us on Empire, and he came out as the gay son of Lucius. But he's actually an activist in real life, and he was somewhere in Chicago, and apparently by himself. Some people approached him and started to yell like racial and homophobic slurs. A physical altercation apparently began from the people that approached him.
Right.
And they threw bleach on him, and then they were yelling MAGA, make America great again, and also took a rope of some sorts and created a noose or wrapped it around his neck. I couldn't imagine getting into a physical altercation just in the middle of the street of nowhere, let alone being verbally attacked, physically attacked, told I don't belong here because it's Make America Great Again, and then a noose being created to be on. That is painful to even think about. But he's been hospitalized, and they said that he's recovering physically. But I don't think you ever get over that experience. It's not like something you can like sleep on for a few days.
Nope.
And you shake off like a workout pain, or
nope.
Like it is something that triggers something inside of you. And I hope the best will come out of the situation that has occurred. But honestly, like, can you imagine you're an activist for these sorts of things, and then something occurs for you? Probably why he was targeted, right? If they knew who he was.
Right.
But in the same sense, you're talking to people, on different occasions and saying, hey, we're in this with you, we're fighting for you, and then one day you become a victim of this. To this degree.
So I kind of related to a story that I had talked about on the show last year when we had first started this. I've been working in the school system for the past 10 years at least, and trying to impart knowledge, encouragement, be an example for young black men in Washington, D.C. And I remember the time when I was robbed by gunpoint by two young men in Washington, D.C. And it kind of just brings me back to that, like, you've imparted or you've given so much of yourself to a demographic or to a people, and then to have them basically spit in your face it's almost like, do you want to continue doing the work? But it also presents the reason why you have to do the work.
Exactly. I was gonna say that's the enemy saying,
right,
they give
right.
me you think this is more than I can handle. Type
right.
of thing. This is more than I,
Are you gonna quit? Are you gonna give up?
Yeah.
And the answer is, undoubtedly the answer is no. You can't give up, and I really appreciate how, I guess Black Twitter they would call it, has kind of surrounded him with a lot of love. More, he was already, like I said, an activist and receiving a lot of support because of his stances against homosexual bias and racial inequality. And now I like it and I hate it at the same time. How when some things like this happen in our community, it magnifies the importance, or makes us look at this again. Makes us look at how ugly America is again.
Right.
And reminds us that we need to be even closer, even tighter, and those people who normally the injustice gets done to, they become pillars in our community and get the opportunity to really push their agenda. Because if people weren't hearing him before on a national level, they're definitely hearing him now.
But that happens, People will say, well, people living in their own bubbles, they'll say, well, this type of thing is uncommon. I don't know people like that, yada, yada, yada. Or they'll make excuses like they did for the kids wearing the MAGA hats who were taunting the Native American man a couple weeks ago. But they'll basically say, oh, I didn't mean it that way, that wasn't what it was, or try to make excuses for this type of behavior. And I think the most important thing is that you should be accountable for your actions, right? But then, of course, this can't happen again. So someone needs to be held accountable in a court of law for this type of thing. But I hope it is an example to people, because you can't just go around being like vigilante MAGA warriors. Like, this isn't going to work. It's not going to work. And it just makes me think, one, I hope Jesse turns out, well and fine physically and gets this love and support that he needs to have a healthy life going forward. Two, it makes me think about, everybody says, the president that we have now makes this country very horrible. What he has done in my eyes has brought light and a bullhorn to
100%.
everyone's mental thoughts. If you hate a certain people and hate a certain way or whatever, it could be a religion or race, people from a certain country that speak a certain language, whatever it is, it just made people feel like they needed to say it. So therein lies the question: should they have freedom of speech, right? Should they not be able to say it? But you can feel how you want to feel, and if you want to be ignorant, that's really your choice. When it becomes hatred and physical and starting to assimilate to the words I'm looking for, to stop or to start to suppress a certain group of people, that's when it's not okay. Like, you can say all day, long, oh, I don't like black people, or I don't like this people, I don't like that people. You're entitled to your own opinion. 100%. And we know, we're educated and grown enough to know that this is either a learned behavior or an experience that turns you off. Either way, you're missing out on something, because there's no group of people on this earth that I feel like you cannot learn from, even white people. Okay? So, but it's the fact that it turns into this level of hatred and physical abuse and violating someone's personal being to that degree. It's evil.
It is.
It's sincerely evil. So it's not just the man in charge. It's the platform that's been given to everyone.
Well, the man in charge, like you just said, like he really just uncovered everything that America really is. And I hate that we have to bring it all back to basically the same topic from.
But did he uncover it, or did he just give it a platform? And the reason I say that is because if you have a group of friends who live in the South, the Alabamas, the Georgias, the Mississippis, if you have friends that live there, they know racism first on a daily basis. 100%. It's like they used to call DC Chocolate City. You go down south in certain areas, you experience something. Now, if you go up north with white folks, they'll snub you. But down south, it's straight up. You don't belong here.
But think about it. Think about this. The other situation that we were talking about right before we started the live video with the young girl. Four young girls in, what was it, Birmingham, Alabama?
No, they were in New York. Birmingham, New York.
So, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know that racism is heavily prevalent in the South. But think about the two topics that we just talked about. In the Midwest and up north, where this racism is now like, and maybe when I say pull the cover off, maybe that was the wrong wording. Maybe they let the leash go.
Yep, gave him permission.
Right.
Like, yeah,
because
this is your
now
country.
exactly do whatever you want. And all the language behind, all the language that's
used is of that. It's the good old boys club. Don't worry about it. He didn't mean it. He's a kid. He's 27. He's a kid. He doesn't know any better. Like, it's ridiculous. It's honestly
and it's not just the good old boys. It's good old white boys. Because
we talk about the women too. It's a lot of people that are a female gender that feel the same exact way. Yeah. Think about that officer, I forget what state it was, that shot that man in the apartment building. They say it was triggered by him just being a black man living upstairs playing his music. It's not just the men, it's the women too. But at the end of the day, I think that, again, it's your choice to live in your own hatred, but it should never get to a point where you are physically harming someone or assimilating with a group of people to harm or suppress a group of people. I think that's where we get to a point where it's inhuman.
It is.
Yeah.
And, we got to get to a point where love is a concentration of everything that we do.
I think so, yeah. I think yeah, and then something has to be done, right? Because we can complain about the block or the street or the city or the mayor or the president, whatever we want to do. But the communities are really what make, your overall 100%. Quality of life what it is, right? You live in your community and what takes a village to raise a child, right? But when you go home and have to have these conversations with your kids, and then you when you become a parent, or when you're a parent, you have a responsibility, right? To to guide your child within the world a certain way. And I just couldn't think of raising a child in hatred.
And but children often, regardless of the lessons that you teach them, they often watch what you do.
Oh yeah, it is not about what you say.
Exactly. So everything that I try to teach my children is through my action. Like I can tell them I can tell them to do anything, but it's what I do are the things that that they will mimic. I look at my son now; he repeats every single thing that I say. Like it's so weird. I was telling him to back up away from the stove yesterday, and he could say 20 times in a row, back up, boy, and he just kept repeating it, and it was just a lesson to me that the kids, they're not going to listen to what you say, because, while words are powerful and words are meaningful, words are also come with a matter of perspective. You could say things one way and mean it one way, but it can be interpreted completely different. Whereas your actions are seen, they're visible, they're tangible. The effects of them are felt by everybody.
Your actions include your energy, which is transferred from one person to another.
100%.
And how do children learn before they start to talk? They repeat everything they see. This is how they learn how to feed themselves, what they learn to look at, walk, talk, whatever. But I completely agree with you. Yeah.
It's good. It's crazy, and I remember this is the last story I want to bring up. That's negative. Is there was an article a gentleman in my job showed me today. It actually wasn't an article; it was a video, and it was of 4 young men in a prison being handcuffed to a table by a white officer in an Ohio jail, while a white inmate was allowed to stab them all. How they, like...
You gotta
like,
your mainframe. I couldn't ingest that.
As a black man in America, what am I supposed to do? Not that I expect to be safe in jail, but
to be honest with you, it is our culture to disengage from people who are labeled as bad, right? They go to jail, they deserve to go to jail. The way things are set up is to create distance and isolation for the person that's in prison or in jail. And after time, with most people, the attention and the concern starts to wear off. Right. And the person in jail truly starts to realize, look, I'm in here by myself.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't know what to do, but if it was my grandmother's child, she'd have the governor down there. I'm telling you. But it really is a matter of, that's what society kind of expects us to do, though. It kind of, you're over there, like, this is my life, and I can't manage your life being in there type of thing.
Right.
And so I feel bad for people who are in those situations who don't have family to advocate for them. And that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to have someone on the outside advocating for you, because you're a criminal. You lie, you cheat, you steal, you kill, whatever. No one's going to believe what you say. It's your word against mine. And the cameras weren't working that day. So what story? No, I'm saying, like, that's something happened. Right. And the cameras were working that day. Gladly so. But then what happens, right? Because the damage is already done.
100%.
And that's the culture there. That's not a one-off incident. I can guarantee that.
Which brings me to a more... It's not a touchy subject, but it's... So we talked about Kamala Harris last week.
We did.
And we were
excited.
We're very excited about
Yes, we were.
a black woman's running for president, and I'm like ecstatic about it. I think she's really Indian, like not African American Indian.
I'm not gonna touch that one yet because I don't know.
Yeah,
I've seen that her mother was. I'm not going. I haven't figured it out yet. I'm gonna let y'all know when I figure it out.
But still,
because I don't
more
like
culturally,
separating us like that.
more culturally diverse than a white man as president, which still, regardless of what her racial background is, ecstatic. However, there's been some stories circling about her that have involved her in, like, it's almost like they're painting the picture that she wasn't as, she didn't see herself as black until she started to run for president. And it's like kind of like that everybody makes a bid for the black vote. Mm-hmm. And that she's using it now, calling herself black now and that's why I kind of brought up her racial background, because they're saying that she's using her blackness now to her
advantage, but wasn't claiming it before. No, I follow you on that. So I honestly do not know if she's black or not. I'll tell you one thing. I got excited. However, what I didn't do, right? We were vocalizing to do your research. What I didn't do was I hadn't quite done all my research. I'm gonna be real honest. I was just excited that there are people running that I know can gain momentum, because even though we may end up doing another 4 years of this, nobody wants to. You want to have hope. You want to have faith. But I hadn't done the background yet. I hadn't started digging into the people who were newbies to the election process for presidency. And I think some of the things that she wasn't for prison reform, certain things like that. And so my takeaway from it was, okay, one, let's see where she stands. Two, let's see where all the other candidates that stand as well. Why are they against prison reform? Why are they against this? Why are they for this? Why are they for that? Because at the end of the day, how we always get hoodwinked and bamboozled is because we're promised ideas, but never really given the blueprint to how this is going to work out.
Right.
And to be honest with you, from what little bit I know, if you've ever done a project with people, you'll have a plan, and you work on a plan for 20 days, and that plan will change 5, 6, 10 different times. So I get that the process may change, but the outcome for me still needs to be beneficial for myself. So at the end of the day, I am going to do my research. I do want to make sure that I'm casting a vote for someone that has my best interest at hand. But I'm being real serious about something. I don't think anyone's going to win. I don't think anyone's going to win just with the support of one group of people. Okay?
No.
Point blank period. I think they're going to have to be someone who is including everyone in this, so that people don't feel left out and like we are now. We don't feel like we can't even get our concerns on the table unless all the black preachers show up, and then they're not even allowed to talk, and they get sent home. Until all the HBCU presidents show up, they're not allowed to talk either, and they get sent. We just don't want to feel like that anymore. So we want someone who's including everyone, and that has our best interest at hand. But honestly, this game is a whole bunch of give and take and paying Peter to rob Paul type of business. So again, do your research.
Please do your research. That's all. Like, we're not endorsing any particular candidate at this moment, even though we still are going to probably vote.
We just have
vote black. But I heard earlier this week that the owner of Starbucks is actually running for president as well.
Listen, he got denied how many times? He ain't
he's
giving
trying.
up.
He's trying it again. And the president, he just might muddy the water so that if enough people vote for him as an independent that would normally vote Democrat, Trump might actually win again. And Trump challenged him to run against him. Just so that he has the opportunity to win his way.
I don't think Trump won't be the president no more. He over this. Like,
I'm not
he
sure
was
he
chilling.
is. I'm not sure he is.
He was paying. I'm saying he want his money, but
he
was
wall.
paying people to do stuff for him the whole time. He was like, "Y'all want me to do what? Come to work."
I think.
Since when? It's like me. You want me to come into office on what day? On a
He
weekend?
may not want to be president, but he definitely wants to be
in charge.
the loudmouth in charge of his country. And he enjoys his little tweets. You know, he enjoys just repping the country. He enjoys writing about this wall.
He enjoys the attention.
100%.
He enjoys the attention, and he's surrounded by men. I'm talking about, but when I feel like someday he probably be like, "So can I quit yet?" Because we all know that the president doesn't really operate and really run the country.
Right.
It's a whole bunch of other things going on that we never see, we don't pay attention to. That's why they always tell you to watch the news, even though the news is edited and the script, certain things are made to appear to us a certain kind of way. But read the paper and watch the news because you'll see what other things are going on.
You just got to read between the lines. Please read between the lines.
You got to listen when they're talking.
Right.
Because they don't always make sense. But I think I think he's ready to go. I think he's just like, whatever, man. Like, whatever.
He's been getting away with whatever he wants for like all the time that he's been in office. He's literally
it's just a bunch of business deals. I was reading
everyone.
something that were saying all the people who were like in charge of these companies, who are lobbyists for these companies, are now holding seats.
Yeah.
I was just like, wow. You know, so the fact that Starbucks is up and running out now, I don't do Starbucks because of the whole thing that happened with the two black men and somebody else and another person in Starbucks. Mm-hmm. But I do like that the man never gives up. Like, how many times you have to get denied before you believe in that dream? Like, that's determination right there. That's determination. But my thing is that this is this country is all about its money. You want someone to be a leader and not a boss.
Right. So I don't want a billionaire as my president.
They still trying to figure out tax stuff so that the rich can pay more and they not going to, and this and that and whatever.
Oh, not as long as Trump is president. So
they're still trying to figure that out. So
I think there is.
They haven't fixed it in a very long time, so it's not getting fixed. Can we focus on something else?
This wall. Bring down the wall. Bring down the wall.
The wall is really ridiculous because when I used to watch CNN and all those other channels all the time, and you would hear about these crazy stories about, this couple went honeymooning or these kids went to vacation and they were in the ocean, and the ocean is like borderline between Mexico and the U.S. and they crossed, and now no one's seen them again because of like the drug cartel and they assumed something happened and never found out. I mean, you worry about the wall, and people can get over on the water. It's ridiculous. You might as well create an electronic force field.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
I'm convinced that this is merely to get contractors.
Yup.
His contractors to actually build this wall so he can funnel the money from the government to his contract. That's all it's about. It's a money play.
Politics. That's it.
There is one more topic that I wanted to briefly discuss. I'm not sure if it'll be brief, but my homeboy sent me a picture today. It was a picture that had a message in it, and it's talking about a new documentary that's getting ready to come out.
Okay.
And the documentary is entitled Leaving Neverland.
Oh, I saw that. I think it's 4 hours. It's coming out on like HBO or something?
I guess.
It's 4 hours long. I didn't see the documentary. I saw the post for it.
Am I crazy now? Like, I'm not sure if I put my theory, like...
No, you need to say it. You gotta say it.
Is, like, there is a agenda to bring down every black leader in the black community. From Michael Jackson, as nasty as R. Kelly is, R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, like, everyone, I knew this was coming. I knew this was coming.
Because I was like, well, why didn't they do something? Well, these people are dead. So let us tell you what's happening first. So there are two men who are claiming that when they were younger, that Michael Jackson molested them. Now, mind you,
they recanted.
Those two men also, well, they were boys at the time. They were young boys, young kids, and I don't really know what to say about that. I'm not judging. I'm just not. People tell their stories, and something happened to you, then that's, you know what I'm saying, that's what happened to you. I don't know. I wasn't there. But my thing is that they recanted their stories, and from what I heard, they were supporting witnesses in a different trial for Michael Jackson. So
in defense of him.
Yeah, yes. In defense of him. So I'm just like, what? This is crazy. So I know they had to sign an NDA, right?
Right.
So now that the man has passed away, I think what has happened was some reporter, news documentary, came to them and said, hey, you know, I want to tell you a story. How a story ended up being 4 hours long about leaving Neverland? Leaving Neverland. I do not know. But let me tell you something. Don't touch nobody. Okay? Don't touch nobody. Mama, they daddy, they wife, they kids, they uncle, they maid, they sister, the person that take your keys from the valet. Don't touch nobody. Because at the end of the day, okay? At the end of the day, you can't violate people. But even if somebody think you touched them wrong, it's a whole ordeal.
But see, that's the thing though. No one knows what actually happened except for the people that were there. In every one of these situations, be it Bill Cosby, be it R. Kelly, be it Michael Jackson, no one can tell you
it's gonna keep coming.
What actually happened.
Let me tell you why. Because the whole rap industry from the 90s was this.
Yes.
All of it.
Yes.
All of it. They talk about just R. Kelly. R. Kelly, you think it was only R. Kelly in there doing that stupid stuff? It was not just R. Kelly. They brought up the fact that Diddy's baby mother was 16 and he was 24. I'm a Diddy fan. I had to do a take 2 hours like, what? I'm sorry, excuse me? What happened?
It's
like, it's been happening all this time.
But not just in black
be,
institutions, because it's
the white men are not being held accountable.
Elvis Presley, who's, again, I think I brought this up before, whose wife was 14 years old.
Yeah, like, they're not being held accountable, but I'm going to say something. Now, with all the social media, news outlets, ways to communicate with people who trying to figure out some background story from 20 years ago to bring back up and get $1, it will come to light. It will come to light. And
I just want an Elvis Presley story.
If you did something, you might as well just jump on out there and say, hey, I'm sorry.
I just want an Elvis Presley story. I want a Weinstein story. I want stories on all these people. We gonna expose and make.
Oh, the Chris Stokes from the B2K people. Look. They had Pleasure P in court for years saying he molested some boys. It's been everybody. It's been everybody. I'm telling you, it's been everybody.
If I'm just thinking about all the cases that get publicized, you know, in the media. Even if I go back to Chris Brown and his situation with Rihanna, and yes, it was wrong, and yes, it was all, you know, all over the news, but it's not just black men who are doing this. However, we get all the news attention.
Oh, it's torn down.
Like, it's torn.
But you know what? The other side of that is the victims feel like, yeah, they deserve it.
But and see, that's how they get our community involved in hating those people, because the victims who are normally black women, they'll say, yeah, this is what your black men are doing to you.
Mm-hmm.
This is what these aggressive, evil, you know.
I get.
This is what they're doing.
What you're saying, and you're basically just saying that they highlight us more than they highlight people. Like Hugh Hefner.
But see, but
he was praised.
Exactly. And I was just talking about this with my homeboys. Like, there's nobody that who checked IDs at the Playboy Mansion to make sure every girl that was there was 18 years old. Like, even when back in the day, early 2000, when the Girls Gone Wild videos were coming out, who made sure all those girls were 18?
Wow, that was a long time ago, guys.
Yeah, like I'm just.
That was a long time ago.
Come on, like I hate how in our society everything that's a part of our culture gets tainted.
They destroy. It's that one bad apple, that one crab in a barrel. It destroys everything, and I think you're right. It happens in other communities, and they're very hush about it. They're like, we're not talking about it. But then we will drag people to filth before, like, that wasn't even him. Like, that wasn't even her. We will drag people to filth. So you're right about that.
But I kind of want to end this show on a happier note. I want to talk about something positive. Go for it.
Before you end the show, I'm gonna say something. So on my Instagram page today, I was talking to y'all about something, and it's about these lace fronts for men.
Oh.
So I wanted to bring this up because I have seen some magnificent work from a lot of these hairstylists and barbers who are basically just doing complete transformation.
Man, what?
Right? And I'm talking about like straight up bald on top. And I've seen this lady, she basically put glue on this man's head and put some twined, like, you know, ladies can get cynical leads and you pull them apart and it's just crinkly, and did that, and then and basically faded it down like a haircut. Dude looked like he came straight out the barbershop. She spray painted on his edges, and he was gone.
It was crazy.
So I don't know what that looks like in real life. Okay, on the video it looks good, but I don't know what that looks like in real life. So my thing was, when I was dating, I really wasn't into the dating thing. Like, I really had to like get myself up to go on a date. Like, oh, all right, cool. Because I'm always thinking like, somebody gonna say something to annoy me. But if I had showed up, and so like a spray painted on fade or a beard, I don't think I could have stopped staring.
Right.
Like, and then, what if you don't know? Like, what if he got like some hair, but just missing that little spot in the middle?
I'm not speaking to this.
And,
I'm not. Nope.
And men talk about women in their wigs all the time, so I'm sure they feel like it's fair game. I don't wear wigs though. No shade, lady. So, but at the end of the day,
I love y'all too.
No shade. But at the end of the day, like, you wake up and this man bald.
Yeah,
I think I would be like, I don't think I would be able to hold in my reaction. I don't think so. Are lace fronts on guys cool or not? Y'all gonna have to let me know. Like,
y'all ain't gotta let her know. I'm gonna let her know
I mean,
now.
he probably look better with the lace front anyway, so you gotta have to let him keep it.
I mean, I think it's only if, like, it's only allowed if your girl got one. If your girl that you going out with has fake hair, she can't be mad at you for having fake hair.
So your mannequin on your side and his mannequin with his his
look,
toupee, actually. It's a toupee.
It is what it is.
On his side of it.
And y'all can wake up with makeup on both of y'all pillows.
I don't have time for that.
That just is what it is.
I don't have time for somebody in the bathroom.
But I did see that. I saw that video. Like, and I didn't know it was a real thing until, like, I went to the barbershop and then I saw my barber. He was arguing because somebody had stolen his. They called it like fibers, the spray that they spray. Somebody had stolen his. So I mean,
they are doing this in the barbershop while y'all ain't I love the wax videos when the men get the facials. I love the wax videos. And then one day I just saw like the whole head thing, and I was like, why is she putting Senegalese on his head? And
she cut them joints off in the front.
She did, and she tapered it in the front, and she took the clippers and faded it down. And he had waves for days. I don't trust it. I don't trust
These Chinese women out here cutting his hair, man. I'm telling you, like they can cut hair.
It's all black people that I've seen doing this so far. It's all black people that I've seen doing so far. But I was just like, at first I was like, oh, that's cool, confidence builder. Some people may be insecure, like yada yada yada. But I'm like, if I woke up and this man was bald,
yeah,
you have to have a whole like.
My hairline has been receding for years. I don't know.
Hey,
I ain't been able to hide it.
Just get out of here. Like it's not happening.
You're wild. It's glued on, so it's not coming off.
Yes, it is. It's gonna come off eventually.
They put the.
So you know how girls wear the little cap joint and you can see it lifting? What if they joint start lifting?
Oh no! She is wild. She is wild.
I'm so
she is
to
wild.
be sad.
Oh wow. Okay.
Okay, you can go ahead.
Watch. It's going.
No, it's not. I got a boyfriend. If he leave, I'm checking all scouts.
No.
Be like, look at stuff right there in your head.
It
ain't gonna be him. It ain't gonna be him. We even go bald. We will Michael Jordan this joint before.
Probably like 10 years from now.
Nah, son. Nah.
Randy, don't kill me, bro.
Nah, son. He will have a bald head and a beard.
Man, that's
it would
hilarious.
change that whole image up.
That is hilarious. But the positive note that I wanted to end on though is I find it crazy, like in all of the negative stories that come out in the black community that are heavily televised. Some of the and maybe they want to keep these things kind of hidden, but I want to bring light to the rappers that are actually investing now and investing into the tech community. T.I., Chamillionaire, who's been away from rap for so long but is making so much more money in the tech community in Silicon Valley than he ever was rapping. Soulja Boy, regardless of how you feel about Soulja Boy and the way he believes in himself, I want to believe in myself the way he believes.
I told you.
Hey,
Soulja Boy can do it. You can.
Look, man. Do your thing.
No, but honestly, you may think that people's ways of communicating or, boosting themselves up is odd, strange, or downright think they're mentally ill. By the end of the day, when you really pay attention to them outside, some of them outside of the music, and unfortunately the music doesn't do anything for our communities, but the outside of the music, some of them do, but I'm sorry, but
the top tier rappers are more.
Okay. So, but they're doing a lot of stuff in the background. Nas has invested in a few companies that have hit big. 50 Cent invested in a lot of stuff. You can call him an a-hole all you want to, but he ain't stupid. And that's one thing I say about a hustler from back in the day. Take him out of the street and put him in a building. I guarantee you he'll make a multi-million dollar company. You can't knock the hustler from anybody. So if you pay attention to them more than you pay attention to their music, you'll see that they're doing great things. So
and it's just awesome to always kind of highlight something in our community that's great. We appreciate people, and that was the last one I was going to bring up. Ray J, love Ray J to death.
So Scooty Bite.
Ray J, yeah, Scooty Bites. He got headphones, speakers, all that.
They're not. These men act foolish on Love and Hip Hop, but they're not dumb at all when it comes to making money. They're just not great at relationships.
Okay, I ain't got nothing to do with your relationships, but I love the fact that you're out here doing something positive for our community. Even Nick Cannon, who's another great in our community that people give him flack, call him lame, and all that other stuff, but all I've seen from Nick Cannon is greatness. Everything he touches is gold. And I'm 100% behind him, except for his rap career. That was just like really
Let me tell you something.
really
If
bad.
I ever get a number one
Really
single,
bad.
I'm gonna sing that all over this world because
Never had
that's
number
the
one
get
single.
in. That's the ticket.
Never had number one single.
Whatever. That's the ticket though.
What was his number one single?
No. I'm just
Oh,
saying.
if
I
you
ever,
do, oh,
if I
okay,
ever-
100%.
I'm not worried about Nick
Oh, I'ma
Cannon's
sing
rap
the song
career.
with
I'm
you.
tell you why. Because he got in the entertainment field and took they just flipping their money. They took that money and they just put it into other areas. I forget one of those big companies that blew up a few years ago. I don't know if it was the guy that did Uber. No, it was the what's the money thing where you transfer? I can't even think of it no more.
Bitcoin?
PayPal. I think it was the guy who was operating PayPal. He basically had took all the money he made from PayPal, put some of it into Tesla, some of it into some other things, and basically had to borrow money from the bank to pay his rent. But that's what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to get a check and go spend it and be lavish. They're just smart enough to go and invest it in things that are going to work for them versus them constantly working for their dollars. So I commend them for the great things that they are doing.
You know what I want to do in a future episode? I want to actually bring some money people here to, or wherever we're shooting at, probably my house, whenever it's finished, to actually talk money, to actually make this a platform where we have not just talk about things that are going on in the culture or in the world, but also to get some advice or insight into worlds that we wouldn't normally talk about.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I guess we're done. Yeah, anything else you want to talk about? So this is episode 3 of The Laundry Room, and we'll talk to you guys again soon. As always, we want to encourage you guys to subscribe to our YouTube channels, to also look out for my poetry website, poetry Instagram page, and also the Laundry Room's Instagram page is coming soon. Still working on a few things, trying to make this process a little bit more simplistic, but as always, we love you guys, and see you next time. Peace. Oh, here we go. I'm hitting the finish button.